Sorry, I just had to record and re-record. So, what's your next question, Grisco?
So my next question is, do you think it's possible that Sargeras, Zuval, even the Titans' own death and eventual return to the seat of the Pantheon was actually part of either theirs or Aman'Thul's original plan, given what he seems capable of seeing? And this was kind of inspired by Murazon's last line when he died of calling out to Aman'Thul directly, even though it seems that the Titans never personally met the dragon aspects. So it was unusual that he called out specifically for Aman'Thul by name.
What was Morazon's final words again? I can't remember now. It was Aman'thul something.
Aman'Thul, what I have seen.
Yes, that's the one. Okay, so first on that one. Sorry, yeah?
Go ahead, sorry.
No. You wanted to say something?
Oh, it got me thinking that if Aman'Thul is the one that granted him the vision to see all of the timeline, or at least all of the timeline as it pertained to Azeroth, then Aman'Thul, who's the leader of the Titans, would have seen Sargeras turning against him, would have seen Azeroth getting stabbed, and Zuval, and all of that.
Yeah, this is... Okay, so we know that it was Aman'Thul that blessed him with the ability to see, right? And his curse was that he then saw his own death, which is the thing that he has to deal with or contend with consistently. He knows how he will die. But of course, we also know that there's blind spots in what he can see, which I think is rather interesting. Because this is now confirmation that not even Aman'Thul sees all truths. There are blind spots. There are places within the timelines that do not make sense. And this could be because a lot of things are already written by fate, and therefore the timelines are already in motion. But there may be moments that is down to individual choices. And since those individual choices have not yet been made, the timelines for those choices do not yet exist. And therefore, someone like Aman'Thul would not be able to see those timelines until such time that the choice has actually been made. And this would be a good example of... this would be a great example of Sargeras. So it could be that Aman'Thul never actually foresaw the fall of Sargeras, because until the moment that Sargeras actually made his decision, Aman'Thul would not have known. There is another option to this, and that is historically, or at least canonically, in many other fantasy universes, things like chaos, things like demons, tend to be immune to the magic of time. They tend to be that natural blind spot to time because of their chaotic nature. It's impossible to predict what they will do because they are pure chaos, driven only by the now, and they have no interest in the future or the past. It's only the now that exists, and therefore, even if you could time travel, you could not possibly foresee all of the different outcomes because not even time knows what the chaos is going to do next. So there's also a chance there because Sargeras' turn very much came because of the chaos, right? Because of the demons that he himself had to slay. It could also be the Nathrezim. The Nathrezim did tell about their infiltration and how careful they had to be with each one of these realms in order to infiltrate them correctly. They have to be incredibly careful with how they present themselves. The question, of course, there would become, who did they infiltrate? Did they infiltrate Aman'Thul and blocked his visions of what Sargeras was going to do? Or was their infiltration of order the actual overthrow of Sargeras? Or the actual turn of Sargeras? This is sadly something we don't know yet. But it is interesting. I don't really, because the thing is, I'm almost hoping that Blizzard writes date spots within the timelines, just because if you can truly see the timeline unabashed in its entirety, you are truly unkillable. Like, there is just nothing that could ever happen to you. Because you already know it's going to happen before it even happens. This is probably what is driving Nostormu crazy. He knows that he will die. He saw the moment of his death. But what he cannot see is how. He doesn't know how he would die or at the hands of who. This is a mystery to him. This is a blind spot. Which could also then suggest this might be why Aman'thul couldn't see the timeline, because you cannot see the moment of your own demise, wherever that moment may be. So that might be something that Fate wrote in, like a hard line on the timelines. I genuinely don't know how to answer that, because
it's something I've been kind of grappling with as well.
Yeah, canonically, Aman'thul should have known. Why did he keep sending Sargeras out to fight the demons if he already saw that Sargeras would fall to chaos, right?
My own idea on that I'm not entirely wedded to, but it would make sense, is what we've been told about the Titans, their plan or calling to order the universe and all of that.
Yeah.
What if we haven't actually seen it yet? What if that is their version of the gospel and that plan is still ongoing? So Sargeras destroying all of the Great Beyond, Death being finally defeated and put back in its place. What if all of that was stage 1 of their plan to order everything? So from that point of view, all their mythos about them being responsible for creating everything and everything being great and gravy and theirs would actually be true once the plan actually begins.
Yeah. So there is another option. Sorry, I literally just thought of this. So from what we understand in the lore, the Titans do not exist on every single one of the timelines. The Titans only exist in one of them. Okay, so the Titans can travel to other timelines, but they only exist on a singular timeline. They are not in every single one of the timelines. This would be the same thing for the Eternal Ones. Because they are constructs of the Zeroth Realms, and the Zeroth Realms are most likely the sort of meeting point for all timelines. They themselves are sort of above all of the timelines things. So that could also be why Aman'thul can see all futures as it pertains to mortals, the Great Beyond, and the beings that exist within the Great Beyond. Aman'thul cannot see all futures of Sargeras, because for Sargeras there is but only one future, whatever he decides to do. And in that sense, the true timeline is not visible to Aman'thul. So that could also be possible, right? Because we know that there is one true timeline, and all the other timelines are simply fractals of the one true timeline. So what if those that can see the future, those that can travel along the timelines, can travel along the timelines of all of the fractal timelines, but they can never travel along the true timeline? The true timeline is sacred. Therefore, it cannot be interfered with. It is eternal. And only fate knows what is in the true timeline. So that is another option to that conundrum.
All right, I'm ready for the last question if you're okay for it.